Welcome to this second session in the series on Introduction to Statistics. I will advise that those who have not gone through the first session go through this first session to enable a better understanding and continuity of the concepts which we are going to cover today. In the previous session, we discussed about that why we need to study statistics, why is it important from the perspective of business managers, what is meant by statistics, then the different types of statistics, primarily the descriptive and the inferential statistics, then what is the difference between population and sample, why we go ahead with taking a sample instead of taking a population census or studying every member of the population. Then we discussed about the different types of variables. So the variables are mainly classified into two types, which is the qualitative, or which is also known as the non-numerical kind of variables, and then the quantitative variables, which are the numerical quantities, and these are further subclassified into two types of discrete and continuous. Discrete stands for those kinds of data variables wherein we have numbers or whole numbers rather, and we don't have decimal numbers. Like the children in a family will be a whole number, 1 or 2 or 3, like that. It can never be 1.25 or 1.3 partial fractions. So discrete numbers don't have fractions or decimal places, decimal digits. It is a whole number. Whereas in continuous variables we have we can have the decimal places or the fractions also included, like income tax by an individual or an organization might be an amount which runs into fractions also, like 25,592.50 paisa. So that kind of variable, when we talk about it, is called the continuous quantitative variable. The weight of a student or a height of a student is also a continuous quantitative variable. All these aspects we have discussed in detail in the previous session. Now the focus of the current session will be the different levels of measurement. So we have already seen that there are different kinds of variables, and they are measured in different units, or when we take measurement for them, then it will come out in the form of certain categories, classification, labels, or numbers. So based on that, we have the 4 levels of measurement. The first is the most basic one, which is called the nominal level, and in this the data is classified into categories, and these categories cannot be arranged in any particular number or order, or cannot be ranked. For example, the eye color, a person can have an eye color which can be black or brown or green or gray. So we have done classification, or we have put labels, color labels for various eye colors, but it cannot it doesn't mean that we can write black first or brown first and so on and so forth. We can write in any particular order. So order is not there, but yeah, labeling is there, or categorization of the data is there. Similarly, gender can be male or female. Religious affiliation can be different religions like Hinduism or Islam or Muslims, and then Christianity, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism, and so on and so forth. So these kind of data values or data is known as nominal level data. Now the next form of level of measurement is the ordinal level, and as the name suggests, there is an order associated. So it has got all the properties of nominal level, plus an ordering is possible, or ranking is possible in this. But we have to keep into mind that though the ranking is possible, like first place, second place, third place, and so on and so forth, the difference between the values doesn't have meaning. Means if suppose we rank in your class the students based on the aggregate percentage marks scored, so it will come out in the series first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. Now so there is a value, means for rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and there is an order So from the highest to lowest we can place or rank or order the students. But there is a difference, like the first rank holder, the difference between the marks of first rank holder and second rank holder is not the same as between the second rank holder, difference between the second rank holder and the third rank holder, and so on and so forth. So ranking or ordering is there, but the difference between the two doesn't have any meaning, or it is not reflecting anything meaningful. So after this ordinal level, we have the third level of measurement, which is known as the interval level. As the name suggests, there is an interval, so it has got all the properties similar to ordinal level, plus an additional property that the difference between the values here is meaningful. And also there is no natural 0 point in such data. For example, temperature, if we take, so suppose we have temperatures of the state capitals in India on any particular date. So we get temperature of, say, Dehradun like 36 degree centigrade. At the same time, Chandigarh can be 38 degree, Delhi can be 40 degree. So based on these degree values, we can arrange the data or the cities in a particular order, rank them. That is possible. At the same time, we have the absolute number degrees, measurement of degrees, temperature in degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit for these cities. So the temperature differences also have a meaning over here. So we can say that if Dehradun is 36 degree centigrade and Chandigarh is at 38 degree centigrade, so Chandigarh is hotter by 2 degree centigrade. So difference between the temperatures has got a meaning here. Similarly for Delhi, if it is at 40 degrees, so Delhi is hotter by 2 degree compared to Chandigarh, or 4 degree compared to Dehradun. So when we have this kind of data wherein we have numbers, and we can order or rank the numbers, and also the difference between these number values have got a meaning associated, then we have the interval level data. Now the next or the highest sophistication of measurement is that of ratio level, and this ratio level of data, level measurement has got all the properties of interval level plus an additional property that it has got a natural zero starting point also. So if there is nothing, so we can take that as 0, whereas this 0 value is not possible in the interval data. At the same time, we can also take ratios of the two values here, and it will be a meaningful concept or value here. For example, the monthly income of surgeons, it can range from 0 to maybe few lakhs of rupees every month, depending on how popular a surgeon is or how much patients he or she is handling. So if in COVID-19 scenario, suppose a surgeon is not practicing or he has taken an off, he's not enrolled, so he might have or he or she might have 0 monthly income at present. Whereas on the other hand, there will be some surgeons who would be very busy in the various clinics and hospitals associated, in which they are associated, so they may have income running into several lakhs of rupees also. So we have a 0 also. We have a surgeon, we might have a surgeon with 50,000 monthly income, we have another surgeon with a monthly income of 1 lakh, and then maybe 5 lakh also, and so on and so forth. So these all values, 0, 50,000 rupees, and then 1 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees, all these are numbers which can be ordered. The difference between the numbers, these monthly salary figures, also has some meaning. So if there is a surgeon who's earning 5 lakh rupees and there is another one who's earning 1 lakh rupees per month, so the previous surgeon is earning 4 lakh rupees more. So differences between the salary figures of these two surgeons has got a meaning. Plus we can also take a ratio like 5 lakh rupees divided by 1 lakh rupees. So second surgeon is earning 5 times more compared to the first surgeon. So when we have such kind of measurements, then this is what is known as ratio level data. Now let's deliberate further or more on this aspect. So first, to cover the nominal and ordinal level data, so there are some properties associated with each kind of level of data. So for nominal level data, it is characterized by observations of a qualitative variable, and can be classified and counted, but it there is no particular order to the classification or the labels which we can give. So as we have studied, uh, if we have for example the gender, so it can be male and female labels associated. So there is no particular order associated. Male can be written first or female can be written first. So the ordering is not possible, but yes, classification is done. And as well as, if suppose in your class we count the number of males and females, so that counting can be done. How many male boys are there, how many girls are there, that can be done. So classification as boys and girls can be done when we talk about the gender. Then the counting of males and females gender or boys or girls can be done. And also at the same time we have to keep in mind that there is no particular order associated, or ranking cannot be done based on these measurements or classifications. So this kind of data is your nominal level data. When you talk about the ordinal level data, then it has got an additional property as compared to nominal data, that their ordering is also possible. Now this is characterized by data classifications that are represented by a set of labels or names like high, medium, low, and they have relative values. And because they have relative values, it is possible for us to arrange these data values and hence rank or order them. So suppose we ask some the students of this class that what is your perception that COVID-19 corona pandemic threat is severe or high or elevated or quartered or low or guarded or low in your city, or rather let's make it slightly shorter. So we can ask that what do you think, whether threat is high, medium or low in Dehradun city with respect to COVID-19. So when we ask, some of the students might reply that the threat is high, while some of the others might reply that it is the threat is low, medium, and at the same similarly some few others might also say that it is low. Now suppose out of 65 class of section A, 50 students say that the threat is high, then the highest means the majority is saying that the threat is high. So suppose the next 10 people say that it is medium, and then the rest balance 5 say that it is low. So we can have the classification done, like the classification into high, medium and low of threat due to COVID in a city. We can count, and based on the counts, the relative values of the counts, we can rank or order the data values. So this is a case of ordinal level of data. Now the next is the interval and ratio level data, which we have also touched upon just a while ago. Further deliberating on it, the interval level data has all the characteristics pertaining to order level, but at the same time an additional property, that is the difference between the data values also has got some meaning. So the properties, when you talk about the properties, the first property of interval level data is that the data classifications are ordered according to the amount of the characteristics they possess. So ordering is possible, and that ordering is based on the quantity which is there or reflected by this particular data classification or the number or the value. And the differences between the characteristics are represented by equal differences in the measurement levels also. Take an example of the size of dress, for example. So a dress sizes are given over here ranging from number 8 to number 28, and corresponding to each size, how much bust size in inches of a person it is suitable for, which size of bust or which size of waist or which size of hips is given in inches. So size 8 is suitable for a person whose bust size is around 32 inches and waist size is around 24 inches and hip size is around 35 inches. Similarly, size 10 is suitable for a person whose bust size is 34 inches, waist size is 26 inches and hip size is 37 inches. So we see that according to sizes, the measurements in inches of bust, waist and heights is also increasing. So 8 to 10 there is a difference of 2. So as the size increases by size of 2, what we see is the bust size increases by 2 inches, the waist sizes also increase by 2 inches and the hip size also increases by 2 inches. So the differences are also meaningful, means by comparing the sizes we get a comparison done for or ordering also, and the differences also we can get for the bust, waist and hip sizes of that particular dress. So this is a particular case where the sizes difference is 2, and similarly the bust differences is also 2 inches, which is specified. So it is an example of interval level of data. So but here we don't have the natural 0 size, means here we are not saying that there is a size 0 which is suitable for a person with 0 bust, 0 inches bust, 0 waist, because 0 bust, 0 waist, 0 size of hips means there is no person as such. So if there is no person, there is also going to be no dress size for that non-existent person. So 0 is not there, so hence we are calling it an interval level data. Now the highest form of the level of measurement is the ratio level data, and it has got these properties that the data classifications are ordered according to the amount of the characteristics they possess, and the equal differences in the characteristics are represented by equal differences in the number assigned to these to the classifications. So these are basically the same properties as associated with the interval data, but it has got an additional property that there the 0 point is the absence of the characteristics, and the ratio between two numbers is also meaningful in ratio level data. And when we go for all practically measured units like height, weight and all, so these are typical examples of ratio level of measurement or ratio level data. Ratio level, as I said, is the highest level of measurement. Here the physical quantities like as I mentioned about height, weight of a person, or quantities which are of physical measurement nature, so they all generally fall into the category of ratio level of data. To summarize the level of some measurements, there are 4 kinds of measurement: nominal being the basic one, and the ratio being the most sophisticated or highest level of measurement. In nominal, the data can be only classified into certain categories, or it can be put in certain labels. Typical examples are like the make of a car. Make of a car might be maybe it can be from Hyundai, it can be from Maruti, and it can be from Nissan, or so and so forth. Several brands of cars are there. Or it can be like a jersey number associated with the players. So there might be different players who are having their jersey with some numbers given over there. So number 10 player or number 20 player, but 10 and 20 are just numbers to denote to code, like you have the roll numbers. So your roll number represents you, or you are represented by your roll number, but it is not like that the person with the higher roll number will be scoring higher marks. So that difference in marks is not there. And ordering also we cannot do like based on, it is not reflecting any kind of height or weight according to which we can arrange, or the marks which according to which we may arrange through roll numbers. So it is simply label, putting a label on the values. So this kind of data is nominal. The next higher level of measurement is the ordinal level, where we can measure and the data can be ordered or ranked also. So your rank in a class, depending on your percentage marks, that signifies when we are taking the ranks 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so on and so forth, that represents an ordinal level of measurement or ordinal data. Next we come to the interval level. Interval level has all the properties of ordinal level data also, plus additional property that the differences between the values are is also meaningful. So temperature or dress size, as we just saw in the previous slide discussed, there are examples of interval level data. And then we come to the highest level of measurement, which is the ratio. It has got all the properties of interval level plus an additional characteristic that there is a zero point also, natural 0 point, which represents the absence of any characteristics. And then we can also take the values of two such ratio level numbers, and it will be a meaningful quantity. So we took the example of like the salaries of a surgeon. So it can be 0, it can be few lakh, 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, and so on and so forth. And then we can have the ratio, like how so typically a surgeon who's earning 1 lakh rupees per month, and there is another one who's earning 5 lakh rupees per month. So the second surgeon is earning 5 times more. So ratio 5/1 we can take in this case. So such kind of data are called as ratio level data. Now it is very important to have a clear understanding about this. Why? Because the level of measurement of data defines or dictates the calculations that can be done to summarize and present that data, and then to determine the statistical tests that should be performed on the data. So based on the type of data and the level of measurement, we get what calculations we can perform on the data. So we should have a better or clear understanding of the different types of variables as well as the levels of measurement. You can I will advise you to think over different types of data which you have come across till now during your studies or during your day-to-day life experiences, and try to relate that which kind of data, qualitative, quantitative data it is, and then whether it is discrete, whether it is continuous, and then what kind of level of measurement is used for that data, whether it's nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. This will help you to develop a better understanding about the concepts. With this, we conclude the introductory section, this session to statistics. Thank you very much for being a patient listener. Thank you.